Vansi vibhushitakaran navneerdabhat pitambara darunabimvaphala tarostha purnendu sundaramukha Arvindanetra Krishnat Param Kimapi Tat Tvamaham Najane Akhandamandalakaram Vyaptam Yena Characharam Tatpadam darshitam yena tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev, Divine Souls. You all know that we are going through chapter 12. Last week we were trying to go through mantra 6 and 7. Bhagavan says in these verses, Ye tu sarvani karmani mai sanyasya matparah ananye naiva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate teshamaham samudharta mrityu sansar sagarat bhavamina chirat partha mayyave shitachetasam. To those who are surrendering all actions to me, solely dependent on me, meditating on me with single-minded devotion, worship me alone, O Arjuna, I become the rescuer from the ocean of death-bound existence speedily without any delay. Last week we went through this first part, Sarvani Karmani Mai Sanyasya. We have gone through in detail. As you know, in these two verses, there are two components. One is that part which the devotees have to perform, and the other is the guarantee, a promise from Bhagavan as a consequence of what a devotee will perform. So we went through the Sarvani Karmani Mai Sanyasa. Let us see what he talks about Matpara. And beyond that, there are three more actions which the devotees have to perform, which will take one after another. When we say Matpara, what does it mean? That means he is solely dependent on me. Why he should depend upon him? Because he has said, he has promised, Ananya chintayanto mam ye jana paribhasate tesam nityabhayuktanam yogakshemam bahamyam. We submit ourselves entirely onto him simply because it is he who will be meeting our yoga, what our requirements, and will be protecting all those from loss, from giving up, getting away. He is the one. But we have to perform ananya chintayanti. We have to devote entirely onto him. surrender entirely on his feet. And that also nitya yukta, not that we have done it today and tomorrow we will forget. No, it has to be done consistently ever. So with that understanding, Bhagavan, when he says matpara, it is the devotees, the sadhaka, the bhakta, who should considering himself to be the disciple of Bhagavan, to the bhakta of Bhagavan, and surrendering or depending entirely on me. What happens normally? Normally, when we perform action, we think I am the doer. The importance is not of Bhagavan. When we perform something, something happens nice, good, profitable. Oh, we say, well, this I have done it, and I have achieved that, and I have gained that. You do not consider Bhagavan then. Often, when you are in trouble, artho jigyasu arthati, then, oh, something happened, Bhagavan, now you take care. Now, when there is a loss, when there is a unhappiness, when there is misery, at that time you consider requesting Bhagavan, approaching him. Then your I-ness goes away. No. सुख में सुमिरन जो करे दुख में करे न कोई दुख में सुमिरन सब करे सुख में करे न कोई. It is the agony that brings that urge within you to think of Bhagavan. You are not matpara. He is not matpara. You are not depending on him. You consider yourself that I am that aham bhav in you brings all the action to be. You are the owner of that. You are the karta of that. In fact, you are not the karta. Without the power of divinity within you, nothing, no sense, no body, no mind can perform. But that we forget. We forget Vasudeva Sarvamiti Bahunam Janamanamante Jnanvan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudrulabha. Bhagavan has said, O Arjuna, that kind of person who considers me to be everywhere, to me the every power behind all their actions, those people are durlabha, hard to find, very difficult to find somebody who will entirely depend on Bhagavan. But here Bhagavan is saying, Arjuna, those who are matparaha, those who are depending on me, to them, what I will cross them across the sea of sansara. Sarvatah panipadam tat sarvato chisaro mukham sarvatah swatimalloke sarvama vittatishrati. Bhagavan has said in verse 13 of chapter 13, Sarvatah, wherever you find, it is he. If you want to see the feet, it is his feet is everywhere. If you want to his hands, everywhere. He is blessing everybody from with his hands, stretched all over the place. He has his feet there for every bhakta to bow down and touch and get blessed. But that we do not realize. That we do not forget. We do not keep in mind this point, this fact that he is everywhere and his power is everywhere. It is not my power that will perform any action. You will find this word is very interesting, matparaha. And as such, Bhagavan has used this word many places. From Karma Yoga point of view, from Dhyana Yoga point of view, from Bhakti Yoga point of view, this matpara word comes in everywhere. When you are performing action, of course, in chapter 2, verse 61 says, Tani saravani sanjamya yukta asit matparaha vasehi yasindriyani tas pragya pratisthita. When Bhagavan is talking about the sthita pragya, as one whose mind is steadily with Brahma, that Brahmagyani, he is talking about he must be having his senses fully under Basehi. Yes, Indriyani, his senses should be perfectly under his control. And that control he will be able only do when he is Matparaha. If he is depending upon his own mind and body and senses, he will not be able to control his senses and be with me or perform action, so that he will become sthita pragya. So in order to reach that level of sthita pragya, he needs to control his mind, senses, and body. And for that, the big qualification is that matparaha. He has to surrender onto me. He has to fully dependent on me. In Dhyana Yoga, we have gone through chapter 6, and we realize how important this word matpara is. Because if you are trying to control the mind, which is very hard to control, we have gone through those verses. Bhagavan says it is very hard to control, but one can control is through vairagya and abhyasa. But word matpara is a part of that abhyasa. That in order to practice, you have to depend on Bhagavan himself. And without his support, without his blessings, you cannot control your mind. And once mind is controlled, then only you will be able to perform dhyana. And for dhyana yoga, control of mind, concentration of mind, and total absorption of mind in Bhagavan is very important. Also, Bhakti Yoga we are going through, Bhagavan says again in chapter 18, verse 57, Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha. That you, in order to reach me, you have to have your mind under control and all surrender. Sarva karmani mai sanyasya. You will be able to submit all your actions onto me only when you are matparaha. You are totally dependent on me. Now let us see the other requirements Bhagavan is talking about for a devotee to contribute, for a devotee to perform. He says, Ananyena yogena dhyayantaha. When you are meditating on him, during meditation, your mind should be single pointed. It should be single pointed concentration, focused, totally focused onto one spot, and that is Brahma. You see, these points are, each one of them has its own significance. Here, that previously he was talking about, you depend upon me for your actions. Now he is talking about, for concentration of mind onto me, you should have single pointed focus on me. He has talked about that in Mai Chananya Yogena Bhakti Abhyavicharani. Your bhakti should be abhyavicharani. You should not be unswivering. It should be unswivering devotion onto me. And that is what is called yoga of non-separation. That when you are concentrating, there is no separation from one point to another point. The focus has to be continuous, and it's called tail dharavat. It is often in Upanishad you will find this word mentioned, where it talks about how somebody pours water from one container to other. He sees that the fall is continuous. There is no break in between. So tail dharavat, that is the line of focus. That is the one pointed, unswivering action of devotion for the devotee to perform. His ananya, he should not be at other place. The point of his attention for his mind should not be different, should not be many. It should be one and one alone. That is my ananye yoga dhyayantah. That is the requirement for the devotee to concentrate in such a way that the mind is focused onto one point. Then it's talked about Mai Avesita Chetasam. The mind should be set on me. One is the process of meditating, and other is the point of focus. So you are meditating through, constantly meditating through the way. And where is the focus? The focus is within Brahma. Within your Brahma is nowhere, it is everywhere. It's also within you. So if you look inward, then you will find again Bhagavan seated on the lotus leaf there within you. हृदय के कमल में बैठे हुए ईश्वर सर्वभूतानाम हृदय हृदय से अर्जुन तिष्ठति. So you are trying to set your mind onto that Lord which is inward, अंतःकरण में बैठे हैं. Mam ev upasate. Worship me alone. Me here is not Krishna with the flute. He is not the Krishna with the gopis, but he is that Krishna who is Brahman. This is unmanifest, the manifest Brahma within you. That is the point where Bhagavan is saying, Mam ev upasate. He is concentrating on me and me alone. When we say me alone, there are two parts. One part is that Lord Krishna in his form, and other is Lord Krishna within you. When we talk of Lord Krishna within outside, it is like Meera who says, More to Girdhar Gopal, Dusaro na koi. That is none other than that Krishna, and he is Krishna and Krishna alone. That is the one upasana which Meera performed. Draupadi also cried on when she was being disrobed, and at that time she also cried out for Krishna, and she got protection from him. So the kind of upasana one perform, it can be in that form. But when Bhagavan talks about the unmanifest one, then it is within and everywhere where Bhagavan is. Now, what is the guarantee which Bhagavan gives? Bhagavan says, Tesam aham samudharta mrityu sansara sagarat. To all those which Bhagavan talks about earlier, those 5 conditions which the devotees have to perform, Tesam, he is referring, by saying the word Tesam, he is meaning those devotees, those bhakta who had performed the actions the way Bhagavan talked earlier. To them, Tesham samudharta, I will put him across what? The ocean of world of death. Now, it is interesting that this sansar, जिसमें हम खेल कूद मौज मस्ती सब करते हैं, आनंद मनाते हैं, वही संसार हमारे लिए मृत्यु का कारण होता है. संसार है, हम हर समय मर रहे हैं. We do not realize that every moment our cells are dying. Millions of them are dying, and we are approaching death. So that no one can avoid the jatasya dhruvo mrityu, dhruvam janma mritasya. So that mrityu, death, is certain for each and one who has taken birth. As such, this birth, when we think we will die when our life is gone. No, every moment we are dying. Every day the death is taking place. We do not realize that. So Bhagavan says that I will take you across this ocean of this world of death. Mrityu sansar sagarat, I am uddharta. I am the one who will take you across. उद्धार कर देंगे उसके उस सागर से. किस सागर से? जो संसार है, जहां पुनरपि जननम पुनरपि मरणम पुनरपि जननी जठरे शयनम इह संसारे बहुदुस्तारे कृपया पारे पाहि मुरारे भज गोविंदम govindam bhajna. So that bhaj govindam, that Adi Shankaracharya has composed this. He says, Punrapi Marnam, you are Jananam, you are born again, death again, again to stay in mother's womb. It is indeed hard to cross this. Ye sansare bahudustare. It's very hard to cross this bundle, this boundless ocean of sansara. Oh Murari, redeem me through thy mercy. हमारे ऊपर कृपा करो और इस संसार से पार लगाओ. That is what we always pray to Bhagavan, that we take us through this sansara in such a way that we do not go through the misery and the suffering, and that what happens in sansar. He promises that he shall transcend all limitations of sansara and take you across it. Now this sansara, Mira has sung sansar, and he talks this at Bhavasagar. You see, one meaning of sansara with sea, it takes into consideration that whatever there is the sea, there is water. This water, when it gets heated, it evaporates, brings into vapor, into cloud. Then there is rain. It goes through river, and again it comes back to the ocean. So this cycle of movement of water from ocean to again ocean, that is the cycle of birth and death, which each one of us, those who are born, have to go through. That's why it is called sansara. And in this process, so much agony lies there. So the happiness part is very minimal. Maximum it is sansara is full of miseries and miseries. But this is the one cycle of sansara is often talked about when we talk of the water molecule getting out from this ocean and again merge into that. That is the Bhavasagar, and it is also called Maya, Jag Maya. So this world is illusion, a kind of illusion, and that one has to realize it's a big question altogether. We will not go into that, but that what Meera sings in her song. He says, Mohe lagi lagan Guru Charanan ki, Hari Charanan ki, Mohe lagi lagan Guru Charanan ki. चरण बिना मोहे कछु नहीं भावे जग माया सब सपनन की मोहे लागी लगन. So he sees talk. Jag is Maya. Jag is also Sagar, Bhavasagar. Bhavasagar सब सूख गयो है फिकर नहीं मोहे तरनन की मोहे लागी लगन हरि चरणन की. Bhavasagar सूख भी गया है अगर, it is dried out, she is not worried. फिक्र नहीं है. क्यों? उसकी उसे तरना जरूरत नहीं है. संसार की ताकत पार करने के लिए वो भगवान कृष्ण के ऊपर पूरा निर्धारित है. उसको विश्वास है कि भगवान श्री कृष्ण हमें संसार सागर से पार ले जाएंगे, और इस पार ले जाने में जो उनका विश्वास है, यही विश्वास उन्हें ऐसे मुझे याद पड़ती है. ये बात मैं आप सब लोग जानते होंगे मीरा के बारे में, और किस तरह से मीरा का अंत हुआ है. इस विषय में बहुत बातें कही गई हैं. ये बहुत दिन पहले की बात नहीं है, 550 साल पहले की बात है, जब मीरा राजस्थान में इसका जन्म हुआ. राजस्थान में जन्म लिया. एक बहुत राजा परिवार में राजा रतन सिंह की बेटी थी, और किंग के मेवाड़ के साथ उसका विवाह हुआ. भोजराज के साथ उनका विवाह हुआ. ये राजा खानदान के होते हुए भी गुरु कौन थे उनके गुरु थे कॉबलर, चमार, रविदास. और रविदास से ज्ञान पार करके वो श्री कृष्ण के चरणों में लग गई. और अंत क्या हुआ, कैसा हुआ? वो गुरु ये जन्माष्टमी का दिन था। द्वारका में कृष्ण मंदिर में वहां भजन कर रही थी। सब लोग, बहुत सारे लोग बैठे हुए थे वहां। भजन करते करते उस आवाज सुनाई पड़ी भीतर से, कृष्ण भगवान श्री कृष्ण के अंदर से आवाज सुनाई पड़ी, मीरा आ जाओ। मीरा बोल उठी, मैं आ रही हूं। अपने एक तारा को हाथ में लिए भजन करते करते वो जाती है भीतर। अचानक बहुत जोरों का गर्जना होता है, दरवाजा बंद हो जाता है। दरवाजा बंद होने के बाद फिर जब दरवाजा खुलता है तो लोग क्या देखते हैं? लोग देखते हैं कि मीरा है नहीं, उसकी साड़ी भगवान श्री कृष्ण के ऊपर ढका हुआ है, एक तारा नीचे पड़ा हुआ है। ये शरीर मीरा का भगवान में मिल जाना बहुत जमाने पहले की बात नहीं है। ऐसी कथा नहीं है कि लोग विश्वास अंदाज हो गया, ऐसी बात नहीं है। सब लोगों ने वहां खड़ा होकर के देखा है, अपने नजरों से देखा है ऐसा होते हुए। विश्वास नहीं करने की बात ही नहीं है। ऐसा भी हो सकता है आज के जमाने में। इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर पीपल ऑफ टुडे टू रियलाइज दैट थ्रू डिवोशन, it is through bhakti of Meera, such thing can happen, that what is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, yatum dastum tatvena praveshtum cha dhanandaya, who is can enter into my body, Bhagavan has said in chapter 11, and that what happened with the bhakti of Meera, Ananya bhakti of Meera, all the qualities of bhakta which has been mentioned, she fulfilled all the qualities of that, and that's how Bhagavan took her into himself, and she got completely merged with that divinity of the divine Sri Krishna. Now let's move to the mantra 8. इस मंत्र में भगवान कहते हैं, मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवशिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशय. Let us see what the meaning of the words are. Mayi eva means, Mayi eva is Mayi eva, on me alone. Man adhatsva, mind, fix your mind. Mai, on me, buddhim nivesaya, you surrender your intellect. So what will happen? Nivashishyasi, you shall always live Mai, in me, eva, alone, in me alone. Ata urdhan, thereafter there is no doubt about it. So the meaning of this mantra is, fix your mind on me alone. Surrender your intellect on me. Thereupon you will always live in me. Of this there is no doubt. You will see whatever Bhagavan had said in mantra 6 and 7, this is the conclusion of all those factors which was mentioned in those two verses. So he's concluding, giving you two things, your mind and intellect. He's attracting your mind and intellect, and he's telling you, you fix your mind in me, surrender your intellect on me, thereafter you will live in me. My niveshaya, you will be living in me, of which there is absolutely no doubt. So there are 2 points which are to be looked into, and those are the question of mind and his intellect. So there is a clear instruction that, number 1, fix your mind onto me alone. I think my time is over. We'll talk about this in the following week. Thank you very much. Jai Shri Krishna. Jai Gurudev.